Definitely.
Right, let's get stuck into the cricket. And why wouldn't we talk about it? Because we're top of the world. We've won one ODI.
We finally won a game.
We beat the West Indies.
Back, baby.
We're back, baby. Don't call it a comeback. We never left. So game one of the ODI series happened yesterday in Barbados. Alex Carey got the nod to become skipper in his first time leading Australia. So good on to him. Former GWS Academy captain. Yep. So he had the hard choice to choose footy or cricket. He went with cricket, and it's paid dividends for him. Finch obviously out with that hamstring strain. And then how about this 11 that we went with, okay? Josh Philippe, Ben McDermott opened the batting. Mitch Marsh, he's been in good form. Moses Henriques, Alex Carey, Ashton Turner, Matthew Wade, Mitchell Starc, Adam Zampa, Wes Agar on debut, and Josh Hazlewood. Of our best 11, I think there's probably 4 guys there in an ODI 11. You would pick Hazlewood, you would pick Starc, you'd probably pick Zampa, and on form, Mitch Marsh.
Yep.
So outside of that, it kind of is an Australia B team. Didn't look like one. Australia made 9 for 252. It was 49 over game just due to a little bit of drizzle. Carey had a captain's knock of 67 and 49 from Ashton Turner. Tell you what, though, this Hayden Walsh Jr., we spoke about him 3 days ago. He continues to give us dramas. He had 5 for 39, the West Indian leggy. That's the best ODI figures for a West Indian against Australia in 30 years, if you don't mind.
That's impressive.
Yeah. What wasn't impressive was the West Indies batting showing. We had him about 6 for 27, I believe, at one stage. Mitch Starc got a Evan Lewis with a first ball leading edge, caught and bowled, and then in the second over bowled one of the best nuts he's bowled in a while, a nice in-swinging length ball that just took the top of Jason Mohammed's off bail. That got us off to a flyer, and then Josh Hazlewood was just bowling stump to stump, cramping them all up. Starkey finished with 5 for 48 and Hazlewood 3 for 11 of just 6 overs. The question I want to pose to you boys is, why are we so good at one-dayers and we suck at 2020 cricket when you wouldn't think that there's that much removed between them?
I would say it's the other way around.
We're just better at the slightly longer formats, as in the longer formats.
Our bowlers shone here, right? And I think it might be a double-edged sword here.
Monks, can you get some of the batting numbers? Because I'd be interested to see what guys like Philippe, McDermott, Henriques, and Wade did, considering we're tracking their form a little bit.
Yeah, so I think Philippe and McDermott both got about 30, did they not? 39 for Philippe, 28 for McDermott. Yeah. Henriques struggling a little bit.
Wade 3. Ugh.
I think the going back to the question of why do we do well in the ODIs and less so in the 2020s, it might be a double-edged sword here. I think the West Indians are really good at T20 cricket as well.
Well, we were talking about last week. You got Chris Gale that hangs around, a lot of those kind of names.
Yeah.
They live and breathe T20.
That's right.
It's probably opposites where our guys kind of need maybe the extra overs to get into the game.
Yeah.
Whereas the West Indian guys will come out here and just blast it a little bit.
I think that's what it more is. Obviously, Chris Gale not playing in the ODIs.
Too much running.
But outside of that, that's a very similar team to what we saw with Lewis and Hetmeyer and Pooran.
That Bravo in there?
That's so that's Darren Bravo.
Yeah,
so
not the other one.
They're swapped. Yeah, Bravo for Bravo. But it's, Walsh played in the T20s. Jason Holder played. So there's still 7 or so guys there from that West Indian T20 team coming across the ODIs. But yeah, I think it's more what you're saying there, Sean, is that they're really good at hitting a long ball, but in terms of establishing an innings and staying, and seeing off a swinging ball, possibly they do struggle a little bit. It is also one game. So let's not...
They'll come out and put 400 on Australia and we'll barely get 200.
That's it. We put the curse on Australia now.
I'm quietly confident. I think we sweep them in the ODIs here. It's just something that's becoming really apparent, and West Indians are known for being excellent T20 cricketers, but we are over in their home arenas.
Yep.
And it's so interesting that we, after getting pants 4-1 in a T20 series, can come out and then just annihilate them. And to be honest, they're lucky that they made 123 in response.
Pollard scored
it was
half of it. So.
All off Pollard. If you don't mind scrolling up there, Monks, what do you have?
56.
56, a runner ball 56. You take away him and, geez, they're scheduled for 60.
Yep.
So, and they were what have we got there? 6 for 27 after 7 overs. This could have been an absolute embarrassment for the West Indies. So good for the Aussies. A good confidence booster after a very lackluster T20 series. And the next few games will happen over the weekend, and we'll cover them next week. On the Esky. Let's go over to the subcontinent. So India is playing Sri Lanka currently in Colombo. We've had 2 of the ODIs go so far. The first game was a very easy affair for the Indians. They cruised to a 7-wicket victory. Sri Lanka made a respectable 262. That was really bolstered by some late hitting from Chamika Karunaratne with 43 not out of 35. No one else did too much there. Shout out to Krunal Pandya. He was the pick of the bowlers, 1 for 26 off 10 there for the Pandya. And the Indian chase was never in doubt. Captain Shikhar Dhawan, 86 not off 95, continuing his stellar form from the IPL, and 59 to the rhyming name Ishan Kishan. It was a closer affair in Game 2. The Sri Lankans batted first again. They made, again, 275. So we were concerned that they were going to get really blitzed here. So they've made a good showing of it.
Under 200. Wouldn't have surprised me. So
yeah, I was really worried that they wouldn't be making 200. So two good scores there. It was Charith Asalanka with 65 off 68, and Navishka Fernando with 50 runs there. Good bowling from Yuzvendra Chahal and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, 3 apiece there. And that the Indian top order really struggled here. Sri Lanka had them on the ropes at 5 for 116. It was Wanindo Hasaranga, 3 for 37. He claimed both of the openers, but it was Deepak Chahar batting number 8, had a gutsy 69 not out to get the Indians home, and a man of the match performance for the fast bowler. He also had 2 wickets with the ball. Game 3 is tomorrow, followed by 3 2020. So interesting that the Sri Lankans have actually been able to stick it to the Indians. I suppose being at home helps, and it also being a bit of an India B side, let's be frank.
Yeah.
That helps.
My question to you was going to be, of this India B side, as we're calling it, is there anyone there starting to make maybe inroads into the India A team that you see that they'll be pushing form-wise to maybe knock someone off? In
a white ball, we say India B because it's no one that's playing Test cricket.
True.
But we look at their side. You've got Prithvi Shaw, you've got Shikhar Dhawan, you've got Ishan Kishan, Manish Pandey. There's no reason why any of those guys can't play white ball cricket for India. Then you've got Surya Kumar Yadav, been excellent in the IPL. And then you've got both Pandya brothers.
Yeah.
You look at this B side, and we're calling it India B. That's not the right term for it. It's the Indian white ball team less a few guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kohli would be there.
Kohli's the big one, of course.
Bumrah would be there.
Would you put Pant in that side?
Yeah, Punt would be in that side. And then outside Jadeja would be there.
So that's 5.
4. That's 4 that I've named. So it's not we're doing them a disservice calling it India B. What we should be calling it is the India white ball cricket team.
Yeah.
Less a few dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and again, that's a fucking strong. That's a strong lineup. So kudos to the Sri Lankans to. Keeping it amicable. We have spoken at length at the demise of Sri Lankan cricket here of late. So, look, they haven't got a win, but they haven't been embarrassed in either of these games. And
they've made them contests, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, for sure. And the Sri Lankan people who have been suffering a fair bit of late, I think their spirits would be bolstered, given these results. So we'll see what happens in Game 3 tomorrow. Maybe the Indians try a few young blokes, considering they've got the ODIs already wrapped up, and then we roll into the T20s, where you'd think Sri Lanka are even more likely to steal a win. Let's go over to England. So our last ep, it was 1 apiece in the T20s between England and Pakistan, and England won the decider in a thriller. Pakistan made 154. It was Mohammad Rizwan who carried them, 76 not out of 54, and Adil Rashid, 4 for 34, was the best of the English bowlers.
What, is this a T20? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
T20. So
I'm trying to work out if they played on landmines or something for the low scores, but no.
It was 154, still 7.
Yeah, but for T20, I was thinking on ODIs. So I was like, but for T20, that's
you weren't listening last week.
Yeah. It was the other way around. I got confused.
That's right. So the ODIs went first, and it was. We talk about B-sides. That really was an England B-side after the COVID took all their starters, and then the England actually just got home with 2 balls remaining in this game. 64 to Jason Roy, survived a middle order collapse to get them over. So they win the ODIs 3-0. And they win the T20s 2-1. Not bad, considering a lot of their guys were unavailable. And a lot of them have been through their quarantine now and are coming back. Were coming back into this side, but a lot of the guys that had come back in won't be playing in the Test series anyway, which starts start of August. So we're getting very close.
Very, very close. I was just going to ask you that question. Yeah, a couple of weeks.
And in other news, Bangladesh swept Zimbabwe in 3 ODIs, if anyone cares about that. Australia maybe should be keeping an eye on Bangladesh because we do play them in 5 T20s coming up. And, it would be really embarrassing if we get done by Bangladesh. But that is over there, so who knows?
Yes. And there could be some rank turners over there.
So, Monks, could you just look up? I think it's August 4th that the first Test match between England and India kicks off, which gives us 2 weeks. What are we thinking there, boys? England at home against an Indian side, which were really, really good in India against them. They did drop 1 test. Let's not forget that.
Yes, and they did lose to the New Zealand, the kind of equivalent in the sort of similar. But the Black Caps are best Test team in cricket at the moment. So,
well, and we sort of
Black Cap Macca definitely would agree with me.
Definitely, and I think it's fair in swinging conditions. The Black Caps do have the best bowling attack in the world, and
Tour India, of course, is going to be a different conversation. But
sure,
something we have to see. Hopefully, not in the too distant future.
Is it 4th of August?
Yeah, 4th of August.
They're at Trent Bridge in Nottingham. So that's.
But I'd have to say, India got to be better. Than England.
You're backing them to win the series?
Oh, I don't know. It is in. You just got to remember it's in England, and it'll
be hooping.
Yeah, it'll.
Kohli's record.
It'll swing more than it will spin.
Sure.
Which is kind of more the favourite for what the Indians want to do. But
Kohli's record in England is horrendous. Plus his form is out. I think England win this series. I'll say it right now.
I'm going to say close series and maybe India sneak it.
Okay. Max?
Actually, no, it's going to be a drawn series because I'll just rain there.
The whole time. Well, I think they had some pretty horrendous weather in the last few days. We're saying they've used up their best weekend of the year, or their only good weekend for the year.
That's it. I really don't know. Have to go England at home.
Yeah.
I think see how the first match goes. And
the thing with England is, when we've spoken about it on the pod before, their bowling is really quite good. But outside of Root and Stokes, they are unproven with the bat.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a massive test for some of their top order guys that haven't made a lot of test runs to really step up and cement themselves as test cricketers. I think that's probably where this series is decided. If the English guys that haven't made runs with the bat, if they can step up and support Joe Root and Ben Stokes, then I think England get home comfortably.
Yeah, agree. That'll finish cricket.